Shounen has long been criticized for its poor representation of female characters, often running them to stereotypes or sidelining them after pivotal moments in the story. Especially older shonen has struggled in this regard, but modern shonen has shown improvement by placing more focus on the female cast. Black Clover, for example, introduced enjoyable female characters like Vanessa and Miliorana, who, despite initially falling to cliches, underwent redeeming character development as the story progressed. Another standout female character in modern shonen is Nobara from Jujutsu Kaisen, who is one of the most badass female leads in any shonen series. This change towards more well-rounded and formidable female characters is something that should become more commonplace. In the vast landscape of shonen series, numerous characters are introduced, and it often takes a few episodes for viewers to determine their likability. As an audience, we know our likes and dislikes. There were not many instances where I was in conflict about my opinion of a character. Sagiri, however, challenged that sentiment. In each episode, she oscillates between being the best and becoming straight up annoying. Our introduction in episode 1 establishes her as a character who instills fear in Kabimaru, someone not affected by bonds or the pull of a bull. In episode 1, she presented herself as a threatening individual with a menacing aura. However, in episode 2 and 3, her character undergoes a sudden shift, revealing her insecurities. This episode provides insight into Sagiri's dream of upholding her clan's tradition, known for their artful execution of criminals. They transform something as dreadful as death into an art form with a precise and powerful beheading technique executed primarily by the male members while females do the housework. Despite being advised multiple times to stick to cooking, Sagiri yearns for something more. Episode 2 marks a dramatic change in Sagiri's character development. She evolves from a badass in episode 1 to an insecure and doubtful individual in episode 2. This transition confused me because if even Gabimaru failed Sagiri, she should have had some presence at least. As the story progresses, we gradually discover more layers to Sagiri's character. Personally, Sagiri started to feel like an entirely different person. While I understand the use of female operation as a plot thread for Sagiri, but her introduction led me to believe she would be mentally stronger. I envisioned a character who could rival someone like Meliorana. However, she maintained neither physical nor mental fortitude, but this quickly changes in episode 6. As we get the Sagiri we lost in episode 1, she confronts a giant capable of killing a samurai with a single slap. Even Garumaru himself struggles against the giant. At this moment, Sagiri is overwhelmed as one of her friends has already died and the other is on the verge of death. He consistently has seen her fail to maintain composure in her fights. To command calmness while her friend is dying is a big ask. However, in her friend's final words, she finds salvation. Her friend's words taught her the importance of embracing both genders' strengths and weaknesses rather than focusing on the differences. In a surge of calmness, she swings her weapon and deals significant damage to the beast. This sudden change makes sense because Sagari was never accepted into her clan's culture. Thus, having a senior member finally accept her and entrust her with a sword becomes an eye-opening moment for her. The resolution to her internal struggle is a subtly written and appreciated aspect of the story. Sagiri is one of the most fluctuating characters I have ever encountered. Initially, I found her character to be confusing, struggling to pinpoint her exact personality. However, episode 6 shed light on what the mangaka was aiming for. Sagiri herself is confused about her identity, which leads her to project personas suitable for various situations. Upon rewatching episode 1, it becomes apparent that she was mimicking her seniors, particularly her father. It is not in her nature to be so cold-hearted and logical. She possesses a more feminine and emotional perspective of the world, but when pushed to her limits, she can also exhibit rationality and cold-heartedness. The ideal scenario is not to project masculinity, but to recognize her inherent strength as it is her most beautiful trait. It is challenging to determine whether Sagiri is a good shonen protagonist this early into the story. However, the direction of a character appears promising. My realization of her projected personality increased my likability towards her significantly. The overall analysis of Sagiri's character will heavily depend on the conclusion of season 1. In summary, the character of Sagiri provides a profound exploration of gender discrimination and stands out as a better representation than most female leads in Sony. So, very frustrated by her character, did her insecurity feel justified? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Hope to catch you guys later. But for now, this will be Dungeon signing out.